Hey, welcome to another episode of Legion Elite Motorsports. I'm your host, Isaiah. And on today's episode, we are going to dive deep and prep the engine bay for the Mirage with a fresh coat of paint. So I'm going to kind of skip ahead, I guess you could say, and show what's been going on. So let's check it out. Here we go, looking like a brand new car up in this thing. Gotta get more paint, finish up the passenger side, and we can start finishing up. Okay, so the painting of the front end was a success. Looks really good. All right, as you can see here, I got all down here, even on this side. I stopped right here, back. Okay, and then you can see the inner fender was done there, and then I stopped because I have all of the accessories right up there. But what I plan to do is paint, take that red piece off, drop the suspension down, cover the top of it, paint all of that corner, and I'm thinking about taking out the window wiper motor, and painting this whole upper section right there. And then same deal over here, take that off, cover that, spray paint all of this, and block off everything I don't want painted. And the easiest way to do that with all of this wire and everything in the way is to use aluminum foil. Leaves no residue, easy to mold, put it where you need it, wrap everything up, and then paint. So, yep, that's pretty much what I did. I got this side done first, so it came out perfect, and then I did this side last. And in order to paint around this box, you have to move it to the back, paint the front, let it dry, then move it to the front, paint the back, let it dry, and this took a good amount of days, long story short. But in general, not too bad. I think, out of 10, I'm fairly pleased. It's about a solid 7. And the only reason it's a 7 is because it would have been nice to remove all of this and paint literally the entire engine bay, but that would have prolonged the installation of this motor. So that, and I would have had to re-bleed the brakes and probably do some of those lines and pull the harness off, heater hoses, you name it. It would have been a nightmare. So we're gonna kind of skip that, and I think what I'm gonna do from here is prep these top areas for paint, and yeah, get it done, and we should be good to go shortly. But what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna start putting a lot of the screws back. So the grommets that go here for the hood adjustment, I'm gonna make sure that's good on both sides. I'm also gonna make sure that I put as many screws back so I don't misplace or not put anything back where it's supposed to go. And just like that, you have a section sectioned off and technically ready for paint. So out of this whole engine bay, the plaque is the only thing I covered in painter's tape. So that's pretty good odds. You get some cheap aluminum foil and yeah, save yourself a buck. But anyway, so had to remove some seam sealer. As you can see here, I razor bladed it down. It doesn't have any cracks showing, so there's still seam sealer there. But for the actual strut bar, it has a better surface to lock onto without the seam sealer in the way. So I have to do that for both sides. This side is technically ready to paint after it is cleaned and alcoholed down. And then we will take out the remaining parts over there and be good to go. Okay, and that is the complete product. We're not gonna do any more painting than that. Of course, we'll get this out in the sun so you can actually see it at some point, but that is as far as we're going. So, we're gonna start putting everything back together over here. And same deal for over here, and we should be good to go. Okay, so everything for the most part is put back where it came from, pretty much. So besides that, we got the wire and harness hanging over the side of the fender, preparing for the installation of the motor. Everything went pretty well, especially with putting all of this stuff back together. We got a couple of wires that I believe are not supposed to be in here, but we're gonna put these back where they go. I think this is for the turn-on signal. And then this one's for the window washers. So this goes back in this hole here and comes out right over here. Perfect. All right, so there we go. So, yep, so we're doing good here. There's a couple more bolts that need to be bolted up. I took everything apart there. Everything looks good. So, in the middle of putting everything together, there was one casualty, and I'm gonna show you guys that now. So putting the air conditioning lines back, right? The top line went in no problem. The bottom line, it was getting tight midway. I wasn't quite sure why. So I took it out and checked the threads. Threads look good. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just me. I went to go put it back in, and then the bolt snaps off. So, here I am trying to get the bolt back out, and if you look here, I used an easy out, and that snapped off in there. So now I have to replace the evaporator, which requires me to get that from the inside. And let me see, there's a dump tube on here too, which is very important. Let's see if I can find it. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so the dump tube is right here, this one here. So you gotta make sure you don't lose that. If you do lose that dump tube, it is going to pour water in your passenger side on the floor. So I have to take all of that off. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're left off. And one more piece I almost forgot. Again, this is going to be a nice functional car. So the window washer sprayers, I almost forgot to put the line back, so the line goes through here. There goes through, or behind the motor mount, and then you got this long tube here. I plan to relocate the windshield washer bottle because it was down here, hanging down. And that's not gonna work because I plan to put the oil cooler down there. So I'm gonna need those mounts and that location to be clear. So here is the motor for the windshield washer sprayer. And then this connects to the actual bottle. So I can't use the original bottle, but I can use this motor. So let me show you guys what I had in mind for a window washer bottle. Okay, so I got this container, has a plug on the bottom. That's definitely gonna need to be ported out, not a big deal. But I was thinking about mounting it after moving this out of the way. I was thinking about mounting it right in there and then mount it up to these screws that's over here on this side. Just an idea. Once everything comes together, I'll kind of figure out a little bit more because there's not much room for this to move anywhere because there's going to be a motor mount in there. You know, these never blow or anything like that, but it would be cool to flip this behind the fender, maybe like above the wheel well or something like that. Let me know what you guys think and how I should go about mounting this tank. It would be cool if there was more room down here, maybe, but I really doubt it. So we'll see. It's something, you know, we'll kind of figure out. And with that being said, you know, a couple steps forward, a couple steps back, but yeah, we got to get that stuff done. So it's going to be a little challenging to get the evaporator out without, I guess, breaking it. Sometimes the evaporators being so old, they get crunchy and crispy and it falls apart, literally. So we're gonna try our best. We're gonna dive in on that next couple episodes and kind of take it from there. But I hope this information was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Remember, guys, knowledge is power, and I will see you next time.